Hi, my name is Markus Velke, and I work at the Cologne Gay History Center, Centrum Schwule Geschichte, Köln. Yes, we are meeting here now today to have a little walk around LGBTIQ, etc. history in Cologne. First of all, a few basics. Cologne is a very old city, a Roman founding, about 2000 years old, even older. And what you can see behind me is our famous cathedral. Our cathedral, of course, is not 2000 years old. They started building it in about 13th century, and they had to stop in between because they ran out of money. In the back you can see the Cologne Central Station, which used to be a very important spot of, well, especially for gay men in the past. When gay men wanted to meet gay men in Cologne, under the rule of paragraph 175, they went here, especially to the public toilets, to meet and to have sex, or to buy sex by male prostitutes. So this was some kind of gay hotspot, and of course a hotspot of prosecution by the police, the Nazis, etc., etc.
And how could gay men find each other?
Well, we have eyewitnesses records from that time, and they say that there have been special dress codes. I don't know that exactly, not right now. It was something, the way you wear your hat, for example, or even the way you move, the way you walk. People could tell this guy is homosexual or he's not. Of course, there was always danger that you are wrong, and maybe you went up to some kind of policeman, okay, policeman, and then the policeman took you to jail or something like that. Of course, this was dangerous. It's Wednesday, and tomorrow we have Thursday. It's called Weiberfastnacht, and tomorrow Cologne Street Carnival starts. And the carnival in Cologne has always been a possibility for gay men, lesbian women, etc. to put on clothes of the other sex, for example. Gay men could walk around as women without being prosecuted, and it was always a good opportunity to meet other gay people and to have sex and whatever. So carnival was always has been a very important celebration. Okay. The so-called Hohenzollernbrücke, Hohenzollern Bridge, named after our last emperor's dynasty, the Hohenzollerns. And this bridge didn't look like it looks now. It used to have towers. It was called, and because of this it was called the mousetrap by the Colonians. It looked a little bit like a mousetrap. And in these towers that had been there, these towers have also been spots of homosexual activities of gay men. You can imagine what they did there.
Okay.
So here we are at the Cologne Monument of Commemoration of the gay and lesbian victims of National Socialism. So we have a little inscription here. This was erected in 1995, and the Zauberflöten, that is a gay man choir here in Cologne. They supported this, and it has been the initiative to build this monument came from the ÖTV Cologne. ÖTV Cologne, that is one of our unions in Germany. It was an initiative from the 1990s. And this inscription here to the gay and lesbian victims of National Socialism, this is quite interesting. So far in historiography, it has always been denied that lesbians have been victims of National Socialism, because the notorious paragraph 175 was not contemplated to prosecute women. But of course lesbian women have been prosecuted. They got different labels, for example, asoziale, asocials, for example, and other things. So it was possible, and it has been done, to put lesbian women into concentration camps. And there have even been a few cases in which German courts tried to put women under paragraph 175 into concentration camps, but this was rejected. Everything had to be done orderly, and paragraph 175 was not for women, so they couldn't be put into concentration camp under this law. You must know that in Austria belonged to the so-called Third Reich as well. In Austria, lesbian women have been prosecuted. The law there also was for women, and interestingly, this has never been expanded to the whole of Germany under Nazi rule. Very interesting fact. Now in 2014, historiography has gone much further, and now we know about lesbian victims of National Socialism. This is explored, and there has been a lot of research been done on it. But it's still some kind of taboo topic. There are, in fact, sometimes gay men who deny that lesbians have been prosecuted. It's a very difficult topic. But this was a statement to include the lesbians in here. This was done consciously. And as you can see here, down here, we have flowers. Flowers brought by the Cologne Social Democrats Party. In this Social Democrat Party there is a gay organization called Schwusos, gay socialists, Schwule Sozialisten. And once a year, the end of January, 27th of January, when we commemorate, for example, the liberation of Auschwitz concentration camp, where also gays have been in. There is a march, a commemoration march to this monument, and then flowers are presented here to commemorate the victims of National Socialism. We need to talk about the structure of this monument. As you can see here, we have the pink triangle, a very famous symbol. The pink triangle was used in the German concentration camps to label gay men. And gay men had a very hard life in concentration camps. Among the victims there was some kind of hierarchy, and gay people were on the bottom, really on the bottom. I think a little bit higher than the Jews. I'm not quite sure about that now, but gay men had to face homophobia in the concentration camps. But there have also been homosexual relationships in the camps, and systems of sexual abuse by the wardens and with male inhabitants and gay prisoners. So this is a very famous symbol. It's used all over the world as a symbol for gay liberation movement. Okay, and we have a little inscription here as well. This is saying totgeschlagen, totgeschwiegen, killed, and never been talked about. This is a very interesting thing. After World War II, under the Allied occupation, the German laws against homosexuality have not been put away. They were still relevant, and a lot of gay men who have been liberated from prisons or concentration camps had to move into prisons again to fulfill their imprisonment. So we had this law 175 was still active in the 1950s until 1969. Then we had a liberation in Germany. Male sex, homosexual sex was allowed for adults between 18 and 21 years. So this was a very important step into gay liberation, because after then people could meet and could have sex without any prosecution, at least when you have been an adult. 1969 was a very important year for us, but it has only been 1994 that the paragraph 175 has been put away, finally. And this was due to the German reunification process. In the German Democratic Republic there hadn't been any law restricting homosexuality, and it was said that the citizens from the former GDR, they have they need to have the same rights as the people in the Federal Republic of Germany, so let's put this away, this paragraph 175. But that was the only reason. So
and
maybe...
What was the prison sentence after World War II? If you were caught new in, you know, the 1950s?
From between a few months up to a few years. And financial fines as well. And it was a very hard thing when you were sentenced by paragraph 175, because you lose your job. You are known by the police, and in the 1950s, when you did a profession, very often you had to present a paper from the police saying that you are all right, that you don't have any sentences and so on. But of course it was written there that you have been sentenced because of law 175, and that was it. So many people have lost their careers and could, for example, people working in the public service. It wasn't possible anymore. They got into poverty. And still today, there has been no rehabilitation of those victims. It is in progress. There are a lot of initiatives to come to a rehabilitation, but so far it didn't happen. This is called, this monument here is called the Cold Corner, das kalte Eck. And this is the Cologne HIV monument of commemoration. This is meant for everyone who had to suffer and died from AIDS.
When was it erected?
1998. Is one of the tiny little streets in the Cologne Old Town, just to give you an impression how it used to look before World War II. And the Old Town of Cologne has always been a center of gay life in the past and up till today, although the center has now shifted.